26th in the country. So, can you count to 25, Dave?
Sure.
Well, these runners all need to, because that's how many laps they're going to go around. 25 times around the 200-meter track here in Louisville.
Yeah, so the top 4 times in the ACC 5K not racing, you mentioned Bunnage, Hartman, Chisholm, Kennedy as well. For those that have no understanding of that, why is that according to the NCAA times?
Well, it's a coach's choice, right? You've got a conference championship. You're trying to maximize points in your team. Now, yes, Bunnage would be the best person to win a 5,000 if she was on her own, but you also don't want to run too many 5,000s in 1 year. She just ran a fast one, and she also came back last week on the DMR. They ran the number, she anchored the distance medley, the number 2 time in the country. They just don't want to have her run a 5K, 3K double here in this meet. You know, if you burn the candle too brightly, it may fizzle out by come nationals. And Bunnage has a chance to do some real damage at the national championships. So they're going to rest her in this event. But you'll see here later. She may even anchor the DMR just a little bit later tonight. And then Strzelecki, you know, I mean, this is her event to win. And I'm sure she wants a repeat.
So let's revisit the scoring rules, as this is just gearing up not just for individual, but also for team accolades as well. As you got 17 events, that top spot will give you 10 points, 8-6, and so forth. Jaden O'Brien four-peated in the pentathlon. Notre Dame to start the championships got 24 points, Norm, on the women's side.
Yeah, 24 points is 1, 2, 3. That's the easiest way to get that total, is to go 1, 2, 3, boom. But you can get 24 points any number of ways. It's just adding up. It's basic math. But that's what the track coach is trying to do, is figure out what is going to give me the most points at the end of the day. And sometimes it's running your specialty, and sometimes it's helping out on a relay. Sometimes you're looking for a last-minute qualifier to the NCAA, because these athletes are at that level. Most of them have a shot at making the NCAA meet. But if you went all out in a 5K 2 weeks ago, you're not ready to come back with that kind of effort here. Certainly, if you also want to come back, say, in the 3,000. So there's a lot of things, you know, in line, and sometimes you get unexpected results, like in the men's 5,000. You got the 2 best guys going head-to-head. In the mile, the top 2 seeds chose not to run the mile so they could run 3K, 5K. So sometimes things don't come out like you want. But in this conference, like in the mile, the guy who's now the favorites from BC, he's run 3:52 in the mile. Now, any other year, that would be the fastest time ever coming into an ACC meet, but it's gotten so competitive and so good now. I would say you could make a very good argument that the ACC is the best distance conference in the nation. And Notre Dame is one of the leading programs in one of the leading conferences. Stanford, Notre Dame should be battling through most of this, and yet NC State's also a very capable team. We haven't mentioned them here, but it's kind of hard to rule out NC State and a great chart that Lori Hennis has done with the Wolfpack.
20 laps to go. Covert is setting the pace for Strzelecki. You spoke of Stanford and Bunnage. They own 3 of the top 5 times among ACC distance runners, 6 of the top 15 in the conference as well. That's exactly what J.J. Clark and his Cardinal program are doing, but it is Covert out in front of Notre Dame. Strzelecki, Sophia Dudick as well of Stanford is in third, followed by Schoen, documented for the open of this women's 5,000 meter final. Dudick, the top distance runner, by time this year for Stanford, a grad student and a native of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
You see one of the most experienced ACC runners, currently running 6th. She's wearing hit number 6, Savannah Rourke of Syracuse. We mentioned her name many a time. She's always in contention in the ACC races. She's never come through with the title, but you never know when that day's going to break through. She's running very well now in the all-orange in 6th place. Actually, the orange top and the blue bottoms.
So Covert out in front, the transfer from Tennessee, just getting the women's 5,000 meter final underway. We'll return. Welcome back here in Louisville to the women's 5,000 meter final. With Dudek out in front of Stanford. Let's step aside for just a moment and get what happened earlier, the women's weight throw, Norm.
Yeah.
One of the first champions crowned today.
Well, no surprise here. The #1 thrower in the nation, Giovanni Meeks of California. She coming into the meet, she had a best of 77, 3 1/4. It took her 6 rounds, but in the 6th round, she threw a new best, 77, 4 3/4. She likely will go into the NCAA meet as the top seed for the Cal Bears. Sarah Killen in 2nd and Nora Lomungo of Pittsburgh 3rd.
Congratulations to Meeks of Cal, part of the Olympic trials where she finished 17th. Displaced Killinan, who was the defending champion in the women's weight throw. So Dudek still out in front, Norm, here with Covert, who was setting the pace for those that are just coming into this women's 5K. The defending champ is Erin Strzelecki of Notre Dame, who's in 3rd.
It's far from over.
Yeah.
We're coming up about halfway.
About 14 laps to go.
Right. 14 of the 25, so we're not quite halfway yet, but lots of running is the point. And Stanford now split up by 2 Notre Dame athletes, and in 4th is a Wolfpacker, and that is Brooke Rauber. They're running about 37-second laps right now. That's roughly 5-minute mile pace. And that's what we would expect. These girls are going to run in the mid-15 minutes, and that is roughly just under 5-minute pace. And this will pick up. Dudek trying to get some girls broken early. She's got one Notre Dame girl following her. That's Emily Covert. Strzelecki not looking too comfortable in 3rd place. But I think, if I remember, at Georgia Tech, she wasn't looking very comfortable, and then she ended up coming from way back. So don't count her out yet. But Sophia Dudek looking very determined. You know, she was behind Bunnage when Bunnage ran the best time, and probably learned a little something from that. Maybe she wants that designation herself. Great job done out at Stanford.
Pac-12 Freshman of the Year back in 2020 to 2021, a 3-time All-American. Ran a 15:33 at the Terrier Classic in Boston. Finished 2nd for her. Covert was setting the pace to start. Some good separation here for Dudek.
Little history on Stanford. They've had great distance coaches over the years. Their current guy is J.J. Clark. He was from the Clark family, which was dominated by some of the best women distance runners, including the legendary Joetta Clark, who made like 4 Olympic teams in the 800 meters. Their dad was known as the principal in the movie not Stand By Me, but on the high school at Columbia, New Jersey.
Yep.
And so they have a rich history. But now J.J. Clark really doing a great job as a coach. And look at this lead for Dudek now. We'll give you the space in seconds. It's a hardy lead. And it was 3 seconds a lap ago, but it's obviously more than that now. Just waiting for the latest split to come up there. 9:24 for Dudek. Covert 9:29. So a full 5-second lead here in this women's 5,000. With still plenty of racing to go.
Yeah, Dudek in really good company. We mentioned Bunnett several times. That top time in the ACC in the 3K for her. Also, Roisin Willis, we haven't mentioned, at the top 11 in the nation in the 800 as well. We will see her throughout the ACCs too. Dudek, Covert, and then Sophie Atkinson, 1, 2, 3 so far.
Look what has happened to Strzelecki. She's gone to the back of that lead pack. She's currently in 9th place. So I said she looked uncomfortable, and I guess she's acknowledging that by fading back to 9th. That's certainly not a place she wants to be. In a second, we'll know how far she is behind Dudek. Strzelecki 7 seconds behind Dudek. Now that's a lot to make up, even for Strzelecki. Dudek's looking great.
Dudek also part of the DMR team that finished 10th at the national meet last year.
Roughly a mile to go. They just have 8 laps remaining.
Yep.
So Dudek looking like she wants to run away with it. Here's a teammate of hers she's about to lap. That's Audrey Damedimio, I believe, of Stanford.
Dudek Atkinson and then Angelina Perez for Stanford, Virginia, and Wake Forest, respectively. Dudek gives a look behind her.
And that is Audrey
Dadamio. Yep, there you go. Dadamio.
And she will be lapped by her teammate Sophia Dudek. Stanford took second in the cross-country championships in the fall.
Right.
And now maybe about to win their first ACC distance title. We didn't expect it to be long for that to happen. Right now, Sophia Dudek running super. Sophia Atkinson of Virginia running second. We thought Jenny Schilling might be the person to lead the Cavs, but Atkinson, the closest chaser to Dudek, and at that, she's 7 full seconds back.
She placed in the top 20 in the NCAA outdoor meet in the 10K last year from Katy, Texas for Atkinson, running second. Perez in third, Rauber in fourth of Louisville, but it's all Dudek is the story.
Dudek now up to an 8-second lead. An 8-second lead for Dudek.
Robke moving into third for Louisville over Rauber.
6 laps remaining with an 8-second lead. You got to think this is a title that's going to come Dudek's way. Dudek now with 1K remaining, so 4K, passing at about 12:35.24. She slowed down a little bit. We were running 37-second laps early. She's at 38 right now, but so is everybody else. No one's gaining on her. And Strzelecki has faded to 10th. So she is actually unlikely to score at this point for Notre Dame, although Notre Dame, actually she's the top Notre Dame runner. No. Colbert is. Colbert's in 7th. Strzelecki now back further. Strzelecki in 14th now.
Dudek you're watching is the Pac-12 cross-country freshman of the year back in 2021. One of the top runners, the distance races for this Stanford program. Kind of made that move after COVID, if you're just tuning into this race. Kind of led what for the first couple of laps, setting the pace for Strzelecki, who then since fell back. And it's all Dudek.
Dudek coming up on a half mile to go, 800 meters, no, 600 to go, only 600 to go at 13:52. If she runs 72 pace for that, she's going to have herself quite a time.
Got 3 Stanford runners at this point in the top 9 right now. Again, all scoring points for that team title as well. You got 2 in the top 3, and Dudek leading this 5K, and Suarez in third. Atkinson for Virginia is still holding down that 2nd spot. 2 laps to go.
2 to go at about 14:30.
We are watching a phenomenal race. Sophia Dudek.
I think Dudek can get in the low 1540s. That may not be enough to get her to the NCAA meet, but she's given it a heck of a shot. And here she's about to lap Jenny Schilling. Wow. Bell lap.
Yep.
15:09 maybe with 1 to go.
Sophia Dudek held the Polish record.
15:08.61.
Yeah, in the indoor 5K, the Polish under 23 outdoor record in the 5K as well, coming to the Stanford program. Born in Warsaw, Poland, where she lived there for the first 8 years of her life.
Very impressive performance for Dudek. She comes around the final turn. She's into the home stretch, and she's going to be just over 15:40. A great time for her.
Sophia Dudek is the 2025 ACC 5,000-meter champion.
We're going to have to wait a bit for 2nd place. Here it is. Layla Robke of Louisville rallies for the Cardinals. She hit a last lap of 31.8.